Hi everyone, it's a pleasure to be here to talk about VeChain and blockchain. I think we're all familiar with Bitcoin and blockchain, part of the reason why we're here. And there's many applications for blockchain. Bitcoin, we all know, is a form of money. It allows people to send money from someone they didn't know on the other side of the world, maybe just met online in a few seconds. And it really revolutionized how commerce works on the internet. But there are a lot of other applications for blockchain as well. Blockchain allows for distributed consensus, which allows for data integrity, so we can trust the data on the blockchain. So as a lawyer who's been working in this space, previously I worked with a number of clients on IP issues, intellectual property. I was looking for projects that have real-world applications, immediate real-world applications. And so I first discovered VeChain this summer when I was traveling in Shanghai at a blockchain conference, and it struck me as a fantastic idea because through my experience dealing with different brands and dealing with IP, counterfeiting is a huge issue. And I knew immediately that blockchain is a great way of ensuring data integrity. So if you have a distributed consensus system on a blockchain, you can trust that data. So essentially, VeChain would allow you to be able to trust that a certain good you receive is authentic. And just to give like a real-world example, I went online and bought this watch a few weeks ago. I ordered it off a website. This guy was selling watches in Hong Kong, and I sort of trusted it, but I wired him the money. And then that night I was in bed. I'm like, what if this guy doesn't send me the watch? What if I never receive it? I might have to go to Hong Kong. It might be. And so for a couple days I was a little worried about this, and it all worked out. But if a solution like VeChain were around, I wouldn't have even had to worry. I could have just relied on the blockchain, could have set up a smart contract to handle it, much like I do with Bitcoin transactions today. So that's one of the main reasons I'm very excited about this project. And so I'd like to now introduce, well, on the way over here, I learned more about the fashion industry and about luxury goods industry than I had in my entire life, all because I had one conversation with the next speaker, Mr. Sunny Liu, who I'm happy to introduce today, the founder of VeChain.
Thank you, Benio. All right. Thank you very much for coming. I'm sorry I don't speak Japanese, but I guess if I come here more than before, well, by the way, this is the first time for me to be in Japan. I had a connection flight like 10 years ago in Tokyo, but I never going to the country for real. But I'm sure I can learn more from Yen, from Alvin. Yen can speak perfect Japanese. I have a reliable partner here locally, so if I didn't express myself clearly, or if you guys wanted to ask more questions in Japanese, I think Yen and Alvin can help you guys out. Otherwise, English, Mandarin, I'm okay. And Mandarin, you can go to Daniel also. Daniel lives in Taiwan, actually. His Mandarin is much better than my Japanese, for sure. All right, so I'm gonna use like maybe 20-30 minutes to introduce our project, VeChain, what we have done, and what our plan. And also, I know many people ask about, hey, why about set up an AMA, like answer the question. So I'm gonna put some questions into the slides also. But after that, I feel like everybody, if you got any questions, please just stop me right away, make it casual, and we can have fun tonight. All right? Okay. So firstly, I want to introduce the team. I'm the CEO. My name is Sunny. Like Daniel just said, I'm actually coming from a very unexpected industry, like zero connection with blockchain before, I would say. I'm coming from luxury industry. I was a CIO for Louis Vuitton China. So that's why we had a very interesting conversation with Daniel on the way here to discuss about all of the interesting stories about luxury. Since 2015, I quit the job. People think I'm crazy because really it's a very interesting and awesome job. But I think I just told Daniel on the way here, I think I love Bitcoin more, or I love blockchain more. So I start with several partners together, one by one, for VeChain this project. I could just give it, I don't want to go through like one by one, but they are all, the whole team has very strong background, either in technical, either in the business side. Totally, we have 60 people around the world. We have 3 offices. For sure, the headquarters, well, I think we can count for 4 offices now. We have a headquarters in Shanghai, around 40-something people in the office. And we got a small office in Paris with 3 people. 2 people in Singapore, also a very small office. And now we have a very good partner to set up the office here in Tokyo. So I would say this is number 4 office. Okay. I think the very special part for our team, looking at the broader, let's say, in the blockchain industry, we are quite down-to-earth style. Not like only technical people, but also very many like business people also, with a very strong connection in each kind of industries. Like CC is coming from HP, he got a very senior experience over there. Richard from Louis Vuitton also. Who as a CTO coming from TCL. That's why we had very good connection with IoT, Internet of Things technology also. And also quite a national team. Jerome coming from Barclays Bank, was working in the Barclays Bank, actually located in Paris. He's our general manager for Europe. Scott is our general counsel located in Los Angeles. So it's quite an international team actually. So what VeChain is doing, we're trying to build up a trust-free and decentralized business ecosystem. Sounds like, you know, it's a really big dream or like a big goal. But day by day, step by step, I'm sure, I believe, I'm confident we're gonna get there. So before that, I want to talk about how blockchain, I don't want to go through like, I think everybody is kind of familiar with blockchain technology itself. I don't want to go through the details about that. But just wanted to put our own understanding. How do you think, why do we think blockchain is really disruptive, revolutionary, or is going to change the world again like internet did? So I would say, looking back the history of mankind, in the first 100 or 200 years, we built up you know, the technology for logistics, focus on that. Like the car, train, airplane, or even the rocket, is building up the technology, moving things from A point to B point, improve the efficiency, reduce the timing, reduce the cost, make everything simple, make the moving simple. So I would say it's about technology of logistics. And in the recent 30 or 40 years, we focus on the internet thing, right? It's internet technology is about technology of information flows. So when the humankind combine the logistic technology, or like we call physical flows and information flows, the world has just changed. Everything becomes really, really fast, or let's say communication is fast, it's transparent, and also you know, there are so many different new business model or products or services coming up, like Google coming up, Alibaba or Tencent or Amazon is coming up, all coming from this kind of combination between the physical flows or information flows. So when we talk about the blockchain, actually we're talking about the value technology. It's about the value flows. So imagine if we can combine again the physical flows, information flows, and also the value flows, I'm sure the world will change again. So if everything can be running on the blockchain, and when we have the business activities, also with the transactions happening at the same time, I'm sure they will have new things, or new world is opened up. So that's why, you know, we think about why blockchain is going to change the world again, because on the top or on the highest level of the human technology history, that's how it works. So what exactly blockchain can do? We all know blockchain has another name, it's called trust machine. Actually the name is coming from the famous newsletter, or let's say famous magazine, we call Economics. In 2015, there was an article saying blockchain, the trust machine. So, but also the trust is actually the biggest cost of the collaboration generally, including finance for sure. Even though I would say 90% of application on blockchain is in finance area, but I would say, we can look broader. Any kind of collaboration all needs trust, and right now trust is very expensive. So give a very simple example I listed here. Imagine in the supply chain model, you got different players in the life cycle of the product, like a manufacturer, distributor, retailer, even the consumer. They all have collaborations to play along. But if they wanted to change the data or do some interaction, it's very difficult. It's kind of like we go back to a technology like 30 years ago. We're using email, we're using PDF, we even print out, have people to sign on that, to do this kind of interaction of the data. But imagine if we can have a shared platform, everybody can connect, everybody can play their own role, and also you don't need to worry about the safety or security or privacy issue, confidentiality issue. That's how blockchain can do. They can build up a, shared data sharing platform. So that's our basic knowledge, or let's say basic understanding of a blockchain and how we build up the VeChain. It's a foundation how we build up the VeChain. Also, I want to share a perception about how blockchain can help, or how blockchain applications should be undergoing. So I listed like a potential roadmap of the application on blockchain technology. I'm thinking about 5 different steps. The first one is we need more and more applications on blockchain. Okay, more and more applications, because we need to build up the foundation. Imagine how Google comes up. Google only exists after there were millions, or like 10 millions, or even 20 millions different websites come up. And amazing idea about how about we build up the search engine, and then leading to the current giant, or technology giant of Google. So I think the first step is we need to explore, we need to deploy as many as we can for the blockchain applications. And the second step is, out of those experiences, out of those explorations of applications, we can find we call killer application on blockchain. So that's the second, that's a very important target. So I even make in the red, it's very important. So what kind of application can be called a killer application in blockchain? Well, people will say Bitcoin is a killer application. I vote for that. I totally agree with that. But after Bitcoin, what kind of application we can call killer applications? I won't call Ethereum as application. I will call Ethereum is a platform. Can run more applications. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't have an answer right now. I have some use cases I can share later on. We did for some enterprises, for the consumers, whatever. But I don't know what killer applications will be in the future. That's our goal. We're going to find it, we're going to build it, but it takes time. However, I know for sure the direction of this kind of a killer application will be smart contract with smart money can be executed in the smart contract together. So that fits, our previous the logic or the theory to how to build up the value flow with information flows and physical flows together. So I would say that's a target we should work on, we should go to. And the third, or fourth, and 5 is after that we can find for sure new business model, new services, new products. It's like 20 years ago when you think about Amazon, you will say like you must be insane, you must be crazy, because nobody can understand that. So when we talk about blockchain, I would say whatever we do, if people call you crazy, that means you're halfway of success, I would say. And also another thing I wanted to share is also one of our DNAs is blockchain technology cannot be working alone. That's very important. I often get questions about people from the people like, oh, blockchain is super powerful, can replace my ERP or something. I think it's some like wrong perception or wrong understanding about the technology. Blockchain is just one of the kind technology. For sure, they bring disruptive features, can do some revolutionary changes, but still, they need to work with others. So the most three hot technology, I would say, should be working together. So for example, like IoT, Internet of Things, like sensors or chipset, they can build up the connection between the physical products or physical goods, or even the people, with a digital system. So it's like more like a hands or eyes, like a human. It's used to collect the data. Okay, and blockchain is more like a human heart, because they can protect the data. Whatever is running on the blockchain, it can be trusted. The data can be trusted. So it's more like a heart, can make sure the data can be trusted and can be integrated. And last but not least, artificial intelligence, AI, is more like a human brain. So they collect the data, like trusted data or untrusted data, and they do the processing work. And eventually they make the decision. So most of the time, three technology, here or there, or in different levels, they should be working together. And for most of the, let's say, user point of view or enterprise point of view, you might don't care about blockchain or not, or you don't care about IoT or not, or you don't care about AI or not. But eventually, you want the result, you want the benefits, you want the values. For example, we did a project for a winery, for build up the traceability solution. I'm gonna introduce later. Actually, the owner of a winery in France, they just care how much wine they can sell in China market, and they want to know what kind of province or what kind of location, the wine has been sold. So they can make a business decision like, oh, we should go to Shanghai or Guangzhou to do more promotions, because those are my critical markets, something like that. So eventually, we need to bring the values, but maybe blockchain is invisible. That's okay, that doesn't matter. We don't need to show like, oh, I have a solution, it's really based on blockchain, right? Blockchain can do the trick, but sometimes we don't even need to show them. So I'm gonna focus on some, that's about the theory, and based on that, we build up VeChain blockchain, and also the whole ecosystem. We already have some applications running, so I'm gonna spend some time to introduce the live case we have done. Firstly, we built up VeChain. Actually, VeChain, the whole VeChain package is not only about blockchain. We also got the different other things or different other tools can work together. So eventually, when we give it to whatever our partner can do the application for enterprise, or we go to the enterprise users directly, we deliver a usable or visible, touchable application. So with different layers, I don't want to go through the details. If anyone have like technical questions, we can talk about offline. But we do have different layers, blockchain part, and also the tools part, like standard API, third-party services, hash storage modules for data storage, and also the front-end business applications. We do both. But we want to have more and more partners can join us to build up more applications, because we are expert on blockchain, but we cannot be expert on every industry. We want to have more partners who has industry know-how, can really bring the technology or solution or build up the solution to the consumers or to the enterprises directly. So that's why we already have some customers and partners. Especially we have very strong partners. I think people are asking the question in the AMA about you build up, like you already have giant names like PwC or DNVGO or even Microsoft, Reno, Givenchy, what you do. Either they are customers or either they are partners. And to be honest, I would consider, right, even now, every customer as our partners as well. Because, you know, we're doing something new. It's kind of like think out of the box or break out the rules and try to do something really new. So even the consumer, even the customer, I would say, enterprise customer, they take lots of, let's say, guts or adventure spirit to do something new. So I really appreciate that, and we'll consider their partners other than the customers. There was a question to ask, like, why you choose this kind of partner? Like I said, we are focused on blockchain technology, and we wanted to leverage more resources, especially in the business connections, can reach to more consumers or reach more enterprises, because they know industry know-how. Again, blockchain is not like Superman, can automatically resolve the problems. Actually, I have an argument in a global seminar of blockchain organized by VeChain a couple months ago in Shanghai. And Vitalik said, you know, technology is the major problem right now to stop massive blockchain applications. I have a different opinion. I would say applications or business applications should be the focus other than technology itself. I didn't say technology is not really important. Technology is very important also. Still, technology is kind of in a very early mature stage. We still need to put more resources or more focus on that for sure. But we also need to put more focus on the business applications. Because more application, there will be more feedback, and you can improve the technology based on the feedback. You gotta have a priority to do that. So it's kind of like left foot and right foot. You gotta work together. If you just work on